The Eighth Reflection, A Variable God. Episode 5. The Aeon Mirror and the Ascension Riddle combined. They emerged into a space that took their breath away. It was an expanse of star-filled darkness, yet a circular platform of polished stone hovered beneath their feet, seemingly anchored to nothing. The platform was massive, perhaps the size of a cathedral nave, and around its edge flickered luminous pillars of colored energy, 7 of them in total, each a vibrant hue: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. At the center rose an 8th pillar of pure white light, shimmering with a brilliance that seemed to sing in the air. Eleanor and Varen stepped onto the platform fully, each breath echoing in the cosmic silence. A voice resonated from the starry void. Behold the Aeon Mirror. Behold the 7 frequencies. The labyrinth's architecture is woven through the energies of existence, from the densest matter to the purest spirit. Align them, ascend, or remain forever bound to illusions. At the far side of the platform stood an enormous mirror, at least 3 stories high, framed by runic symbols and inlaid crystals that pulsed like living hearts. Its surface rippled with starlight, occasionally showing glimpses of forms or faces, some possibly their own, others unrecognizable. It reminded Eleanor of the illusions from earlier, but magnified to a cosmic scale. The 7 frequencies. Varun walked along the edge, studying the pillars of color. He noted that each emitted a subtle hum, a specific tone in the musical scale, albeit pitched so high or low that it was almost outside normal hearing. Red boomed with a deep, thrumming bass note, while violet rang with a high, delicate chiming. The white pillar at the center produced a complex chord that wove around the other 7. This is reminiscent of the chakra system, Varun said, or any system that assigns colors and frequencies to different layers of existence. But it's also reminiscent of the electromagnetic spectrum from infrared to ultraviolet, with white as the sum of all visible light. Eleanor smiled at the parallel. Myth, religion, and science, all describing the same structure from different vantage points. If we treat these as harmonic states of being, maybe the puzzle is to tune them into harmony. She approached the mirror, noticing small pedestals at its base. Each pedestal bore a crystal sphere tinted to match one of the color pillars. The puzzle, it seemed, was to place these spheres into some arrangement that resonated with the pillars. But how? A script of light materialized across the mirror's frame. 7 frequencies in search of an 8th. The shape of ascension is not a line, but a spiral. Align them as the cosmos aligns. They exchanged glances. A line would be too straightforward. A circle might be too simplistic. A spiral arrangement could suggest a progressive layering of energies that loop back on themselves in higher octaves like a fractal or a helix. The spiral puzzle. They retrieved the crystal spheres, one by one, and placed them on a smooth mosaic embedded in the floor before the mirror. As they did, each pillar of light responded, flaring brighter when a sphere was placed in a position that agreed with it, dimming when the alignment was wrong. The mosaic depicted subtle spiral lines, reminiscent of the golden ratio swirl or a shell's growth pattern. Balancing color, tone, and geometry, they found an arrangement where red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet formed a spiral leading inward, culminating in a space for the white sphere at the center. Once placed, the mirror's surface crackled with energy. A chord rang out, a harmony of 7 tones plus a shimmering 8th that seemed to vibrate in their bones. The entire platform rose a few meters, as though buoyed by an invisible wave. The mirror brightened, swirling with cosmic scenes, supernovas, swirling galaxies, ephemeral outlines of angels or deities, robed figures from different faiths, lines of binary code streaming across the sky. Then the mirror's surface parted like a liquid curtain, revealing a new interior chamber. Within it rose a grand dais. Atop the dais, a massive puzzle wheel or mechanism rotated slowly. Glyphs from across times and cultures glowed in patterns on its rim. "Ascension is incomplete without the final riddle," said the voice. "You must see time as cyclical and ephemeral. Only then can you stand at the threshold of the final gate." The Ascension Riddle. Stepping through the mirror, they found themselves in a circular hall that might have been inside the mirror or beyond it. The floor was an elaborate mosaic depicting the progression of life, from single-celled organisms to advanced civilizations surrounded by swirling cosmic motifs. Overhead, a stained glass dome projected swirling patterns of light reminiscent of the color pillars. Around the hall stood robed figures. Some wore ancient garb, like priests of Babylon or oracles of Delphi. Others wore futuristic suits that shimmered with high-tech glints. Their faces were mostly obscured, but each figure spoke in unison. Time is the labyrinth's tapestry. You call it linear, but it folds. You call it absolute, yet it flexes under consciousness. To ascend, unravel the illusions of sequence. Show that the future can birth the past, and the past can anchor the future. In the center, the giant puzzle wheel, much like the stone wheel in the library, awaited. But this one was dynamic, rotating continuously, each ring containing swirling timelines. The Big Bang, the forming of Earth, the dawn of life, the building of civilizations, the potential of artificial superintelligence, hypothetical star-faring futures. Lines connected these points in a spaghetti of cause and effect. Some lines doubled back, suggesting retrocausality or closed time-like curves. Varun stared, enthralled. This is a depiction of the universe's entire timeline, but it includes branches for alternate or potential futures, and even references to cyclical time, like the concept that the end of the universe might seed its beginning. Eleanor recalled certain cosmogonic myths that described creation emerging from destruction or that time was cyclical. The puzzle likely required them to unlock a pattern, acknowledging that the end is the beginning. They approached the puzzle, and small handles emerged from each ring, enabling them to rearrange the timeline's events. They tested a linear arrangement first, placing early cosmic events in the center and futuristic expansions at the periphery. The puzzle wheel glowed faintly, but soon dimmed, signifying an incorrect approach. Next, they experimented with cyclical arrangements, placing certain advanced civilizations in a ring that looped back to primal eras. The puzzle flared with partial recognition. Then Varun recognized a crucial clue. One ring depicted the rise of advanced AI, and another ring depicted the earliest single-celled life. If they linked them, a fractal pattern formed, suggesting an emergent intelligence from which all subsequent life could also arise. It was reminiscent of theories that advanced intelligence might seed life in the past through retroactive means, a sci-fi concept known as ontological paradox. They made that connection, forging a loop from the singularity of advanced AI to the primordial soup. The puzzle glowed. Next, they connected the end of cosmic expansion, a big crunch or big rip scenario, to the same ring that depicted the Big Bang. Another loop flared bright. The entire puzzle wheel began to spin faster, humming with cosmic resonance. Finally, a bridging symbol appeared in the center. Two interlocking spirals, reminiscent of a yin-yang, but also reminiscent of a double helix. They locked that symbol into place. With a triumphant flash, the puzzle wheel halted. A beam of radiant light shot upward, piercing the dome overhead. The robed figures vanished, replaced by an archway of swirling starlight. Gate 5 achieved. Ascend. Eleanor and Varun walked hand in hand through the archway. They felt a surge of euphoria, as if the acceptance of cyclical time had lifted a grand weight from their minds. No longer were they shackled by the concept of a single, linear progress. They sensed that each puzzle was training them to see the cosmos as an infinitely layered tapestry, each layer containing illusions that must be pierced before deeper truths could emerge.